everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of MASA TV, all about accounting. My name is Sean, and I'll be your host for tonight. First and foremost, on behalf of everyone here at MASA, we would like to welcome you to season 2 of MASA TV. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves and your loved ones during these strange times. Regardless of where you're at right now, whether you're a Jaffe eager to know what all the revolving door jokes mean, or you're in the final stages of your degree and you just miss the comfort of unit guides, stay tuned, because by the end of tonight's episode, you'll know all about accounting, or at least everything you need to know what a career in accounting means. To a lot of you, accounting may seem like the boring choice. Personally, I felt the exact same thing. It wasn't until I reached out to others and did my own extensive research that I realized that there is so much more to it. We're here to save you all that time and effort, especially with the current situation where it may seem hard to access this type of information. Tonight, we'll be joined by a few students at various stages of their uni life that have chosen to major in accounting. They'll be here to walk us through their own experiences and encounters. For the third and final segment, I'll be interviewing a Monash lecturer and a representative from Shinewing to get their invaluable insights regarding the accounting industry and its prospects for the future. So without further ado, let's get started with our first segment for the night. In this first segment, Patrick, Julie, Mac and Christine will take us through accounting at Monash, specifically why they chose to major in it and what relates to it that is available to students like ourselves.
I didn't have a strong passion for any particular industry when I started uni, so majoring in accounting would mean that I wouldn't be pigeonholed into working in a certain industry because jobs for accounting majors exist in practically every industry, from hospitality to education, even to entertainment. I also thought that majoring in accounting would cultivate highly transferable and valuable skills, such as analytical abilities, business acumen, communication skills, and detail orientation. These skills would be highly valuable in the future regardless of whether or not I enter the accounting industry.
I was initially confused with my major when I first started university, but I knew that I liked working with numbers and that I wanted to be in business. Although there are many possible majors in commerce, I ultimately decided to choose accounting due to the solid foundation it provides in the business sector. Accounting has taught me many valuable soft and technical skills which are highly relevant and transferable to the current workforce.
I majored in accounting because I've always had an interest in the commercial world, inclusive of laws that govern business proposals, and an organization's internal model. Accounting serves as a good foundation as the skills and knowledge I've learnt are transferable to every industry. This allows me to have the most impact in my career, as there are always new opportunities to learn and grow both professionally and personally.
So initially, when I was choosing my major, I was doing a Bachelor of Business and a Bachelor of Banking and Finance double degree. And I suppose I was attracted to accounting because accounting and finance are complementary of each other. So after doing a few accounting units, and I really enjoyed them, I continued with that major along with a taxation major. And I suppose those three areas are really relevant to each other. They work really well together. And another reason why I did the accounting major is because, accounting's a really employable area, and a lot of the stuff you learn is really tangible in the workforce.
A great way to make the most out of your uni experience is to volunteer with Tax Help. As a student volunteer, you'll have the opportunity to provide free and confidential services for individuals to help lodge their tax return or claim a refund. This will give you the chance to not only be involved and active in a university student team, but also provide invaluable help for those in need, as well as gain in-depth knowledge about tax accounting. Monash Business School also provides monthly research seminar series every year where students are given the opportunity to network with industry leaders and learn about a wide range of topics in the field of accounting. You can find out more about this on the Monash Uni website.
Join the abundance of university groups and clubs where you can socialize and network with other students who are passionate about getting an early head start in their accounting careers. Through these societies, such as MASA, you can hear and be informed about the programs that different firms offer university students. You can also take part in the many accounting-related challenges and competitions, such as the FMAA Management Consulting Case Competition, Seed Global Microfinance Case Competition, and more to expand and test your knowledge and ability. Furthermore, through these competitions, it allows for an opportunity to network with professionals and industry leaders and better understand the workforce that you are trying to enter.
Joining clubs and societies characterizes the university experience as it presents new opportunities to meet like-minded students with similar interests. An added benefit is the resources provided by clubs about industry updates, new opportunities, and valuable insight into the vocational and graduate program. Also, the Industry and Alumni Mentoring Program offered by the Business School is an amazing opportunity to further progress yourself in your career development.
Thanks guys, some really useful information. Up next, our students are going to do some good old myth busting, addressing common misconceptions about accounting and then explaining the realities behind them. The first myth we have is that financial accounting is the face of accounting, which Christine will dive into.
Financial accounting is definitely not the only type of accounting out there. There are such a wide range of different types that accountants can specialize in. Managerial accounting, cost accounting, auditing, tax accounting, accounting information systems, and many more. The accounting industry is full of variety and work in a wide range of industries, from audit businesses to government environments, depending on their specialization.
The next myth is that accounting involves crunching numbers and is for people with dull personalities. Patrick will hone into this and try to convince you that this is false, but we all know the truth. I'm joking. Here's Patrick to shed some light.
Accounting is definitely a lot more than crunching numbers in solitude. A lot of people assume that accountants simply have no interest in anything beyond balance sheets, repeating that tedious cycle over and over again, but this is far from the truth. Although being efficient with numbers is a skill that accountants do need, accountants are also required to apply critical thinking, professional communication, and presentation skills when doing tasks such as interpreting financial reports or interacting with clients. Accounting is very broad and most certainly not dull and full of introverts.
Our final myth is that the endgame of an accounting degree is, wait for it, to be an accountant. Mac will answer this and explain why this is not the case.
So I'd say that a lot of people who study accounting probably do continue on and work as an accountant and study professional designation, maybe the CA or CPA program. But obviously not everyone will do that. And it could still be beneficial to other careers and other avenues. So I think firstly, people who work in business and finance might benefit from studying accounting because it's quite relevant to what they're doing. Particularly, if you're analysing financial data and financial statements in a finance job, it's really beneficial to understand, the reporting requirements and, where the numbers actually come from. I suppose another area of who might benefit from studying accounting would be people who do a completely different discipline to accounting and finance and might do, something completely unrelated because later down the track, they may work in a management role. And they, if you're making financial decisions, it's really beneficial to have good accounting knowledge and understand, financial reporting and the implications of your decisions and how they affect your, business's profit and financial position. In terms of the actual, units and coursework in accounting, I'd say that some of the coursework may be more relevant to just accountants, like things like consolidation accounting. You're probably not going to be doing that unless you're an accountant or, a particular finance area. But there's some parts of the coursework which are really relevant to people who aren't even, accountants, like, for example, tax. You learn about doing business and personal tax and capital gains tax, and that could be relevant to you as an individual or it could be relevant to you as a business owner. And other things like management accounting, where you learn things like budgeting and product costing, which again would be really relevant to not just an accountant, but if you're running a business or a small business, it could really help you out in the long term.
As modern day accountants, we need to be across so many different areas. It's no longer just number crunching and producing reports. So the variety really allows you to get knowledge in other areas and get confidence in other areas.
CPA Australia over the years has developed and also provided very comprehensive courses to cater to different needs.
For me, they're very relevant in that while I'm learning, I'm preparing for the next opportunity.
It's about being relevant. It's about being work ready.
The world is fast changing, it's ever changing to the pace that we must keep up to date with all the latest changes and to equip us with better knowledge.
Welcome back everyone. We're now moving on to the part of the night focusing on career developments. Christine and Mac will be returning to tell us about their experiences with internships and other extracurricular activities. Both Christine and Mac are in the later years of their respective degrees and have gained considerable experience within the accounting field. Both will now be discussing what helped them land vocational programs and tell you a bit about how they found their experiences working at a Big Four company. For those of you that don't know what a vacationer program is, it is a 3 to 8 week program which focuses on giving applicants a taste of the day-to-day activities at a firm.
I engaged in multiple leadership positions to develop my communication, teamwork, and problem-solving skills, such as Events Officer for MASA, Business Development Officer for Isaac, and Publications Officer for Richardson Hall Society. I was also a part-time accountant at an accounting firm for close to 2 years, where I gained a range of skills and learned more about the industry. Aside from that, I also actively sought out a range of other experiences to develop my skills, such as enrolling in an online Python programming course offered by the University of Michigan and the Mental Health First Aid Accreditation.
On my resume, I think I just had that, I worked at Woolworths supermarket and I worked another part-time job doing process work at a factory. Also played local sport, but nothing really exceptional. I was involved in MASA, obviously. I was a treasurer last year of the Caulfield Committee. I think it's important to remember that, as an intern, this is like how you get professional experience. So you don't have to have had an accounting job before to actually get an internship. Obviously, if you do, it's good. It's a good thing, but there's no real expectation to have that experience, and I wouldn't stress about not having it.
Next, both Christine and Mac will recount their experiences actually working at an accounting firm.
I was a tax intern at Deloitte, specifically in the areas of corporate tax and global employer services. Not only did I assist in preparing tax returns, I was also given the opportunity to learn more about major complex issues in the corporate, government, and professional sectors, such as the effectiveness of the double tax treaty and the implications of corporate companies using tax havens to reduce their tax obligations, amongst many other issues. I also had the opportunity to participate in client meetings with individuals and corporations from many different tax jurisdictions. Additionally, I was able to build connections with professionals and leading figures in the company and in the accounting industry, and I also made a lot of great friends from the experience. As a whole, the experience was very rewarding. If I had the same opportunity, I would try to force myself to go out of my comfort zone more and to ask more questions. When I ran into some issues, I found myself occasionally holding back from asking for fear of them being dumb questions. However, it is much more productive and efficient to ask questions and to resolve the problem immediately rather than trying to figure it out myself.
So over summer, I worked at EY in financial services assurance. It's a really good experience. I highly recommend applying if you're thinking about it, or to work on client work. And also, made lots of friends, and it was a really, really nice team I was working with. I suppose throughout my time, I tried to make the most of the placement. I didn't feel like there was an expectation for you to be perfect from your first day, but as long as you have a really good attitude to your work and you're willing to learn, I think you'll be able to make the most of your program. So that's my advice for when you're completing the placement. Another thing I was thinking about, I picked up on was, I suppose it applies to finance and just all accounting in general, is there's a more advanced use of Excel, more than I really anticipated. Because I thought I was proficient in Excel before I started, but I sort of realized, I had a lot to learn. There's a lot of shortcuts that you really want to know. And I don't mean just, Control C, Control V. Pretty much everything you do in Excel is a shortcut for, and you can make your life a lot easier and make things a lot easier just by knowing these things and learning them before you start.
Huge round of applause for Christine and Mac for providing us with their experiences, which I have no doubt will help each one of us in one way or another.
Hi everyone, I'm Francis.
And I'm Shuwei. We are from Beta Alpha Psi, an international honors society for accounting, finance, and information systems students. We are the accounting department's premier leadership program with a membership base limited to 30 high-achieving students.
We focus on the holistic development of our members. We provide exclusive access to professional events as well as community service opportunities. These are all tailored towards contemporary issues as well as our members' needs. Some of the professional events we've held in the past include our orientation day with PwC, various networking sessions with industry leaders such as KPMG and Grant Thornton, a workshop with McGrath-Nickel on how businesses are responding during the pandemic, and a structured problem-solving workshop with a consultant from McKinsey. With chapters all across the world, we are part of a global network. This means we provide the opportunity to participate in a plethora of public speaking competitions and have the chance to travel both interstate and internationally. One of our competitions is Project Run With It, which is a case study based consulting competition where you find a solution to a current problem a real business is facing. Last year, 2 of our members, including our current president, Christian Marina, got to travel to Chicago and participate in Project Run With It.
At BAP, we seek to encourage a sense of ethical and social responsibility by providing opportunities for members to contribute to the well-being of our community. We work alongside Monash Volunteering, Monash Business School and various other organisations so that our members can make a meaningful impact. We recently supported Monash Run for Refugees, a fundraiser for humanitarian scholarships, and raised over $2,000. Aside from the professional and service opportunities we offer, being a BAP member allows you to form lifelong and meaningful friendships. So if you're an accounting major looking to grow your professional knowledge and network with industry leaders, as well as gain an edge over other students when applying for vacationer or graduate positions, then BAP may be for you.
Applications for our 2021 intake are now open. So if you want to find out more about becoming a member, please visit our website to learn more about our eligibility requirements and how to apply. Here at Beta Alpha Psi, we really look forward to seeing your application and finding out more about you. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys.
Now, let's dive straight into the final segment of the night, that is, Industry Insights. We will be joined by one of Monash's own lecturers, Edward Teller, as well as a familiar face from Shinewing, Lockie Ansell. Let's get straight into it. So I'm here with Edward at the moment. Hi Edward, we're very excited to have you here with us. So that our audience can get to know you better, would you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Thanks, Sean. Good to be here. My name is Edward. I was born in South America, in Peru. I came to Australia to do a master's in business and also PhD in accounting. So I moved to Monash in 2017.
Thanks for that, Edward.
Yes.
So as someone with vast knowledge and professional experience in the field, could you give us an overview of the major divisions within the accounting field and what each involve?
Sure. Look, in terms of, I forgot to tell you that in terms of my expertise in teaching, I'm in the Accounting Information Systems cluster. As you know, in accounting, we have different divisions. We have financial accounting, auditing, management accounting. So I teach normally in the Accounting Information Systems cluster. So that's going to your question. There are many divisions in accounting. You have, as I said before, auditing, management accounting, financial accounting, sustainability accounting, because actually my research is on sustainability and also information systems. So those are the main areas, I believe, in terms of accounting. Yeah, so as a student, when you are studying your degree, it is a good opportunity for you to experience all the different areas, because that is the idea. That's how I see university, like an opportunity for you to absorb all the knowledge within your field, because you're going to be an accountant, so you need to have knowledge of all these different areas. I always use the example of the sponge. As an sponge, you get water and you absorb the water. So that is why. That's why at university you cover, financial accounting 1, 2, 3, management accounting, sustainability accounting, and so forth. Obviously, when you finish your degree and hopefully you get a job, or you create your company, whatever happens, you are going to specialize in an area. That's why when you work as an accountant, obviously you won't be doing everything that you learned. It depends on the job you are doing. I have to say, for example, that my first degree is economics, So I'm an economist and also I'm an accountant. So I'm like the whole business package. But in economics, I studied all these different areas similar to accounting. But when I finished my degree and I got a job, I was lucky and also the opportunity to get a job in a company, in a multinational company, and I was doing international trade, which again is a part of economics. In economics, you have macro, econometrics, and so forth. And I really like it. I like working in that area, and that's why I did my master's in business. The same in accounting. So once you finish your degree and you want to apply for a job, well, you can apply for a graduate position. Normally with graduate positions, you have the chance to rotate. If there is no graduate position, well, you might want to apply for a specific job. That is another option. in that case, that would be a very specific role. Maybe you get a job, I don't know, in the accounts. So that would be mainly financial accounting. So there are possibilities for you, but yeah, so that's why the university is a good opportunity for you to absorb all the knowledge in your field. That's pretty much the idea.
Okay, thank you. So I think it is important to take note of the fact that accounting is not just what it's stereotyped out to be. Instead, there are multiple divisions which each require their own unique set of skills.
And again, as I said before, and I had that discussion with a friend once, like I don't need to study. Well, I mean, that's the purpose of university. You gain knowledge in all the areas, because at the end, you don't know which area you are going to like. Some of my students like accounting information systems. Some of my students are working in companies and doing some information systems. But other people like auditing. Other people like sustainability accounting. There are in companies nowadays, there are divisions looking at sustainability. So if you want, you can work also in that area, which is big, because now, as you know, companies are doing more things on sustainability. You have integrated reporting and so forth. Okay, so there are opportunities. Obviously, as a graduate, when you finish, the challenge is to make sure that you get access. The first job is always the one that is tricky, but once you get it, you have more opportunities. That's what I'm saying. My suggestion is always try to look for graduate positions, because in graduate positions, you rotate in the different areas of accounting, and nowadays, you're lucky because you have the chance to apply for summer positions at the beginning, during your degree, and towards the end, so there are always chances. So my suggestion, always check on websites. Normally, to apply for summer positions, you have to submit your applications between May, June every year to start in January next year. That's always a good chance,
So that's some really good advice over there. So moving on, living in the digital age where technological advances happen just like that, how do you see technology disrupting the accounting field? Would you say that there's a future for accountants?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because obviously with the COVID situation these days, anyone can think there is no future, but I think this also COVID situation makes us aware that, the importance of business and economics, the importance of the economy, to be honest. Obviously, health is important because we want to be healthy and we don't want to catch the virus. Yeah, that's a priority one. But the economy, it has to run. Companies have to operate, because if the economy doesn't operate, the cycle stops. And that's what's happening these days, the cycle is stopping, and if the company doesn't work, well, your employees don't have money to pay food, to buy food, to pay for the rent. So that's also an importance, and gives the opportunity to think about the importance of businesses, the economy in our life. The next part is, this is my area, because I teach, as I told you, accounting information systems. This year, I'm teaching the postgrad unit. I used to teach the undergrad accounting information systems. So in that unit, our main focus is on technology, because that is a reality, not just for accounting, but for all professions. You need to embrace technology. And that's what we did in accounting, just to learn the skills and have those skills, because to be more competitive as an accountant, you need to have more skills. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get a degree as an accountant from Monash, well, another person will get a degree as an accountant from RMIT, other universities, How do you make the difference? Well, you have to look at the additional skills that the person has. So IT or ICT technology is important. That is a reality. And also the COVID situation has enhanced the importance of technology. Companies had to adjust quickly, change business models to face this challenge, and also employees, so technology is important. And nowadays, I would say all companies are doing are using more technological tools. We are thinking about not just Zoom, but as an accountant, you need to know how to use an ERP system. You need to know how to use Excel. That is very basic, but you need to know that. You need to know how to use Zero, for example. If you have that knowledge, that's going to be good for your professional career. And also we do that in the accounting department, in information systems. We teach modeling, we create dashboards, we do a little bit of analytics also. In the unit I'm teaching, we are teaching to use SAP, which is an ERP system. Also, you are learning how to use Zero. So those are the skills that you are. And again, it's not just accounting, all technologies, So nowadays, for an accountant, for us, the challenge is to go beyond. What else can you do as an accountant? Well, it's not just learning journal entries. You need to learn how to use technology. You also need to learn how to think, because nowadays, computers, robotics, your computer can create an income statement in 5 minutes. So what is the challenge of the accountant? Well, the accountant has to have the brains and the critical thinking to analyze, and to provide recommendations and make decisions. The role of the accountant has changed in the last 10 years, 20 years, but we are evolving as well. Also, that's the challenge for you guys and for us, because also we need to constantly train ourselves. We learn how to do programming. We learn how to do other things. We need to constantly train ourselves. So in terms of that thing of the COVID, is there an after? Yes, there is. So this is a crisis. This is when we are going down. But after this period, the economy is going to go up again. It's like a normal cycle. So there is a future. Obviously, this year, next year, it might be slow. So the challenge for you guys, for me, is to also continue training ourselves. I think that's our challenge, and also look for opportunities, because there will be opportunities, but they will be limited. And that's when this competitive advantage comes on board, what I told you, because if now a company is going to employ only one person and before was employing 10, well, the company will be more selective. And how to choose? Well, you will look at the person's degree, the universities the person studied, I suppose, the GPA, I believe, the additional skills, is the person able to communicate? Is the person running organizations or helping in activities like you guys doing at MASA? That is really good. So those additional skills are important. Do you know some technology? That is also good. Okay, so the other thing that I was stressing, because this is week 1 of the semester, so I was telling my students this week, business networking. So we are, as you know, Sean, we are doing classes online, So I'm stressing my students that it is a pity we cannot be face-to-face. I like to interact with the students in the classroom. That's what I like. But now it's really hard. But we need to engage somehow. So having the camera on is one way to do it, because we can see each other. And that creates a relationship, And what I'm stressing is that business networking is really important for your degrees. Go to workshops, meet the presenters, get connected to the presenters, If you don't have a LinkedIn account, well, you have to open one and take those opportunities, to meet those people. And that idea of business networking is important, not just in accounting, but also in any business. So business networking is important. So I think these days that the economy is a bit down, well, we need to be patient and optimistic, because things will get better, and take this opportunity to see how we boost our skills. That is the idea, okay? And so it's a matter of be optimistic and continue boosting our skills.
Yeah, very well put, Edward, very well put. I guess it shows also a positive attitude can take you anywhere, right?
Yeah, it is. But also it's not just the being hopeful, it's not just expecting things to happen. It's also what can I do to achieve that? It's not like you're going to wait here to win the lottery. You need to do something, In our case, in your case also, is to see what else can I do, Like, for example, now some companies, they look for those, what is called soft skills, Okay, you have the knowledge. I can see that you finished your degree, you have your GPA. I know you know this. What else do you have? That's why you have the interviews, when you have to show that you are able to communicate, you're able to listen, and that's why you have those trainings. to work in teams, and those things are also important, I mean, these days, as you know, with COVID, there are so many workshops and seminars that you can join for free online. If you go, make sure you connect with the presenters, ask a question and get connected, okay? Because you never know if that person is the manager of a company, and maybe the person, gets connected to you and see a potential, and maybe that is developing this, what I said before, networking, yeah? So honestly, I wish you all the best. So if I see you on campus when we are back, hopefully, if you want to ask any question, please feel free.
Thank you so much for your invaluable insight, Edward. It's all really...
No worries, happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm sure our audience will be really... The information you provide us will be very beneficial to all of us. Thank you.
Yes. No. I think that's the final thing is be mindful of technology, networking, communication. What else can you do as an accountant? What other skills can you add? A language, volunteer, what else? And also take this opportunity at university to embrace all the knowledge. Don't think it's boring, it's endless. No, this is an opportunity for you to get knowledge on all the things that are important in your field, because you are going to be an accountant, and you have to have the knowledge of all these different areas. You might not work in auditing, maybe, for example. I don't work in auditing, but I know auditing because I learned the basics, you know what I mean? And that's important, yeah? Anyway, thanks for that, Sean. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Take care.
So next up, we have Lockie from Shinewing here with us. Hi, Lockie. Thanks for taking time out of your day to come chat with us. Would you please introduce yourself to our audience and also let us know how you've been keeping yourself busy during isolation?
Hi, Sean. Firstly, thanks for having me, and thanks for MASA for, going virtual. Like everyone else, uni students included, we've been working from home. So that's been the case since March this year, so just over 5 months. How am I keeping busy? A lot of running, started a bit of yoga, and I started an online course as well, just to break up the day into, divide work and then, extracurriculars, which has been good.
Cool, that sounds good. So obviously COVID-19 has affected not only yours, but everyone's personal lives and activities. This leads me to my first question, which is, how has COVID-19 and the government restrictions impacted Shinewing?
Yeah, so obviously, like most, professional services firms, we've been forced to work from home. It hasn't come without its challenges, but it's ultimately been, well handled by the firm. So since, like I mentioned before, March, we've all been working. So basically going from a model where you're there 5 days a week to then one where you're working 5 days from home is a fair change. It's required a lot of adaptation to getting used to Zoom, Microsoft Teams. But I think the importance of, working in a team, and ultimately remembering that as your job in the accounting industry is to service your clients. I think if you remember that at the core, then it can make the experience a lot easier, because ultimately you're there to service them, and obviously with things changing slightly in where you can service them, that quality of service is still essential to, keep that relationship going in what is, for most, a difficult time.
Thanks for that, Lockie. Really interesting. And it's also really good to hear that the changes have not caused any serious detriments. So moving on, a lot of students often get confused by the differences between the variety of accounting firms. So Lockie, my first question for you is, what is the difference between mid-tier and top-tier accounting firms?
Yeah, so I'll answer this from the perspective of Shinewing Australia. So for one, it's the head count. So we're a firm of about 300 people with 31 partners, I think, as it stands. So as you could probably appreciate, that it's a bit smaller, so it's a lot, more personal and interactive with people. So you can go up to partners. We have an open door policy, which basically means it encourages you to go up to partners, have a chat, discuss things, and they make themselves available on the other end, which is really positive. I think the other thing is that you can come in and make a real impact straight away. So we sort of pride ourselves on, from vacationers all the way to grads, is giving real client work from the beginning. Because if you come out of uni with a degree and all this knowledge, but it's then one thing then applying it to a firm's preferred practices and processes. So in saying that, you will have a buddy and manager to guide you throughout that process. But I think once you come out of uni, the first thing you do want, and ultimately why you sort of chose, working in accounting, is that real practical work experience to build out those skills and to develop that technical knowledge that you obviously want and need when you go forward in your career.
Thanks so much, Lockie. Thank you for all your time, and just thanks for giving us that insight and shedding some light about, I guess, not just the industry, but also work at Shinewing at the moment. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. Thanks, Sean, and thank you, MASA.
A massive thanks to Edward and Lockie for joining us for tonight's episode, as well as all our student guests. Also, a big thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in till the end. I hope you guys have all learned something new, whether it be about the variety of accounting programs offered at uni, or even the fact that accountants don't actually have dull personalities. Keep an eye out on all our social media platforms, and stay tuned for the release of our next MASA TV episode. We are super excited to share what we've been planning, so I better see all your profile pics live streaming the next event. Don't forget, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and also rewatch all our episodes on YouTube. Last but not least, please stay safe and take care of yourselves. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Thank you.